As bells are ringing all around this world, let us ring our bell. And this one at first remembering that this land that we love, this land that we hope becomes covered in snow, that this land is the ancestral land of the Yavapai people. There are many angels around this room, and each one is a memory for B. Senna, who is doing this service for me. These angels are the legacy of her mother. So enjoy these angels and remember how dear they are. Let us rise in body or spirit, and we will sing together. Angels we have heard on high, all the verses.
That's number 231 in your hymnal.
Welcome. I thought I'd only have the front row filled with choir, and look what happened. Welcome. Thank you for choosing to be here on this special night. This has been the tradition of Granite Peak for many years to gather, and since I came, this is our 5th Christmas Eve that is a tradition of telling stories of people who have sometimes come out of nowhere to give us aid, angels. So this program is called Angels Among Us. But we begin with the ancient story, with words that are being said in many other places of worship on this night. Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth into Judea, to the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be registered with Mary, his betrothed wife, who was with child. Bethlehem is a sad place in this moment. And in this ancient story, this couple, they are on the road to Bethlehem, a woman heavy with child. And I imagine those in Bethlehem on this evening, that there are women who are heavy with child. And there is a star in the east. Let us open our eyes to the holiness that surrounds us, that surrounds human life, that we see in the faces of children and we see in all humans. Let us sing and remember, if possible, the joy. Let us connect with joy. I invite you to rise in body or spirit and sing, "O come all ye faithful." And you only need to sing the first verse because we sang all the way through it this morning, number 253. In the Unitarian Universalist tradition, we light our chalice tonight. We light it tonight with a global chalice lighting written by Dorothea Kaufmann.
From the bottom of my very existence, I am pervaded with light energy, shining colors in my eye, warmth to my skin, inspiration to my soul. In this unity of creative sparks and sparkling creation, life unfolds. Let us open our senses to the light within and around us and send it out with shining examples into the world. Let us rise in body or spirit and sing the first Noel, number 237.
When Mary and Joseph were moving through the countryside, she heavy with child, he heavy with the responsibilities I've seen my brothers take on of protecting her, of finding security and safety. During these vulnerable times, we are also in many ways closest to the acts of kindness. This is the story of an in-law who became a guardian angel from the birth of a first son. This is from Norma West. The day after my husband and I were married, we moved to Hawaii and settled close to where my husband's parents lived. My father-in-law, who was an obstetrics physician, and I, who was working as an RN, worked in the same hospital, and we became connected there. From the beginning, he watched out for me and delivered my first child and his grandson, Peter Carlisle West, on March 30th, 1967. Throughout the years, even after I moved to Prescott Valley, his deep caring continued. When I heard he was close to death, I jumped on a plane. I was picked up by Joanne, his daughter, and stayed at his side, holding his hand until death came. Tears still come to my eyes when I type these words. He will always be in my heart. I wonder who have been your guardian angels. I know that there are many around you to have lived your lives this far. I have had quite a few in my life. And through our food pantry and through our LINK program, our Latino Immigrant Network Coalition, we have sought to be guardian angels of people in the greater community. And this week we've been delivering brightly covered Christmas packages prepared by many of you to people who have come to us with needs, many of whom we've been accompanying for quite a few years. When I have given gifts, they have given me blessings. Que Dios le bendiga. Que le bendiga su hogar, su familia. May God bless you. May He bless your place, your home, your family. I have been given many blessings for all of you, for your kindness. We have a car up and running thanks to someone in this sanctuary. And on weekday mornings, I love to come here and see our peace tree, which you must look at on your way out, that is covered in wishes for peace for many people in the Prescott area. And now, as we begin this tradition of speaking of angels, I would love for you to think of those times in your lives, those times that have maybe led to you being alive in this moment. Let us rise in body or spirit and call in the angels. Hark, the herald angels sing. It is not in your hymnal. We're just going to try to remember the first verse. Please rise. That was excellent. And I don't think we're ready for the second verse. A very special story comes to us on this evening by B. Senna. It's her angel story.
My angel story didn't happen in the dark. It happened in the light before my very eyes. The day it happened, I was traveling, and it was a very busy day, in fact. The afternoon traffic leaving Tucson was thick. A Friday, I'm pretty sure. At the time, it was perhaps my first or second year attending the U of A. I had, by that time, traveled by myself on the trusty I-17 between Tucson and Phoenix enough times that on a fairly regular basis, I had the overconfidence to forget to call my parents before I hit the road. Something my mother, of course, never failed to lecture me on when I would, surprise, land on her doorstep after a 2-hour drive home just to do the laundry. You see, this is before the days of the Life 360 app or even such things as personal cell phones or airbags in cars. On this day, I had planned to quick hop in the car after my last class and to head up the road to beat the traffic to Phoenix. But true to form, I was running a little bit late, and I'm pretty sure I forgot to call my mother too before I jumped on the road. I had already stopped to fill my tank with gas and was maybe 15 miles along the long haul up to the road to Phoenix. I had begun to settle into driving mode. Well, maybe settling in isn't quite the right phrase. It was rush hour traffic after all. And there were 4 lanes of it, solid, thick with monster trucks and mama vans and occasional fourth kid little junker cars like mine. And of course, all other kinds of annoying slow cars in my way. I know this because I had already moseyed on over to the far left lane, thank God. It was winter because by that time, the light was that borderline annoying sun in your eyes time mixed with the beautiful Arizona sunset if you turned your head in the right direction, but I was heading north. So the sun was on my left and not in my eyes, thankfully. On that most crucial moment when a large metal object bounced out from under the 18-wheeler, which was 3 or so car lengths ahead of me. Sadly, there was nothing I could do to avoid the thunk, thunk, which emanated from under my car a flash of a moment later. With both hands gripped tightly to the steering wheel, I served to a sudden halt at the side of the road. I quickly realized, to my great relief, that I was still alive. The car, in fact, was still running, but it couldn't move. Having no idea what was wrong and thinking it might blow up, I turned it off and got out of the car as fast as I could. But then, just as quickly, I told myself, calm down, you're being ridiculous. My rational brain tried to reason with me and offer me hope. Maybe we even got lucky, I momentarily thought, just blew a tire. I could handle that, I asserted. Sure I could. At least I conceptually knew how to change a tire, never mind that I had never actually done so myself. And just because I was a girl, that didn't mean anything. As I began to take stock of my situation, I quickly came to realize I wasn't going to be so lucky. Both of my left tires were flat. I couldn't make the car move, and I couldn't just fix it myself to solve the problem like I usually did. I needed help. I looked around and I realized I was on the side of an extremely busy highway in the middle of what suddenly felt like the most desolate desert. What had felt moments ago, still to be so close to the hustle and bustle of Tucson, suddenly felt very far away. 15 miles, was it? It would be an awfully long walk to the nearest payphone. Oh, please, let there be a payphone. Do I even have my insurance card? I go back to my car to check. Found it. Better get my purse. Who knows when I'll be able to get back here. Is there anything else I need? Can I really walk all that way? Can I get anyone to stop and help me? They're all going so fast. Do they even see me? Oh, please don't let them hit me. Wait, what if somebody does stop? They might just try to take advantage of me, or, oh my goodness, I'm really stranded out here and I'm all alone. Oh, okay, it's okay, don't panic. Oh, look, up there's a truck. Oh, thank God, there's a semi and it stopped. Wait, is it okay? Is there a driver inside? Can they help me? Can I trust them? I slowly pace the 100 feet or so up the side of the freeway to see if there are any signs of life. I'm not paying attention to the wind whistling by, but I hear the gravel crunch under my feet as I walk. Before I get too close, the door of the truck pops open. A man! He's alive! Oh, thank goodness. He's not dead. Oh, wait. It's a man. A stranger. Is it okay? Will he hurt me? My heart is beating 100 miles an hour. He's tall and lanky, and he walks slowly toward me, not threatening. Are you okay? He asks. Do you need some help? Oh, yay, he's nice. And he doesn't even look hurt. Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I call back. I think both of my tires are flat. I need a phone to call a tow. I have a phone. What? Oh, you do? Yes, I have one in my truck. Over here. You can use it if you want to. Oh, okay. I nervously approach the man. Is he trying to trick me? Or can I honestly trust this man? I don't know what else to do, and he seems kind enough, just a man, trying to do the right thing. And so I take what feels like a giant leap of faith. I overcome my fear, and I put my faith in him. Sure enough, that man did have a cellular telephone, or were they called car phones back then? I can't remember, but this wasn't really a car phone anyway. It was a truck phone. It was big and clunky, bigger than the one my dad got to use once when he went on a trip with the governor, and that one needed its own suitcase. The truck phone miraculously worked. I called my insurance company and told them where I was, and they said they'd send a tow truck in 20 minutes. Sure, I said. Maybe I wasn't actually that far from civilization after all. Probably not even 15 miles. It didn't matter anymore. I was safe. That man made me feel safe. He asked me again if I was okay. He didn't try to follow me back to my car. Somehow he knew that would freak me out. He told me, though, he thought a drive shaft from another truck in front of him somehow fell off and then bounced under both our vehicles. He said he had heard it clunk under his truck a few times, but his truck seemed to be okay. He had found the drive shaft on the side of the road behind my car. He was trying to figure it out, and he offered to think about it with me. He stopped to help. He wanted to make sure I was okay, and because he cared, I was okay. I started walking back to my car, about halfway back, which wasn't really that far. I turned back to look at the truck and for the driver. He was gone. The truck was gone. I never heard it drive away. It just wasn't there anymore. For years, I have thought about that truck and that man. How could I have not heard it drive away? Was he an angel? Angels can fly, right? What I've concluded is it doesn't really matter. That man gave me what I needed, and that's what makes him an angel to me. He gave me human connection, actual help, a real telephone, knowledge, hope, comfort. These are the things that angels bring. I can't tell you when you might meet your next angel. It might be on your way home. Maybe it's the person next to you. Maybe you'll hear them singing in the choir. But what I know is that when you meet an angel, you feel loved, you feel a connection, you know you're not alone. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thank you, Bee. Thank you. Thank you. And now we will sing of that town far away that welcomed those two strangers of the ancient story. We will sing, O Little Town of Bethlehem. One verse. It is another one not in your hymnals. Oh, it is. What is the... Okay. 246, the first verse. Please rise in body or spirit. And now we will hear another story by Lena.
This is called Poulette's Story. And there's a little background some of you will recognize what's going on. It's about our gifting of this season. After dropping off our 9 families' Granite Peak holiday gift bags with Jennifer, our gifting facilitator out at Humboldt Unified School District in Prescott Valley, I texted Rosanna, our most recent Albert Lovejoy Justice Award recipient, as many of you know. It was her idea for us to get together to deliver the gifts to one of the families in need that she had alerted me to, and for whom Granite Peak sponsors had fulfilled gift wishes. The family's registration form had said simply Poulette and Carlos as the family name, no last name, no problem. I'd never heard the name Poulette, though it calls up for me a small chicken in French, and reminds me of Pollito, some of you have heard of, the nickname of our Jose of the 22 people in his family. His youngest kid was called Pollito. Little chickens are everywhere. Poulette and Carlos live with their 4 kids, the oldest 14. I met Rosanna at their modest stucco house on a high and dry back street in Prescott Valley. To enter, we skirted a tall, rangy Christmas tree made of strings of lights with the stake in the middle and just strings, you know, unlit at the moment because it was daytime, of course. It took up most of the little yard, so we had to really get around it. Diminutive Poulette opened the door with a shy smile and led us with our big box of festive bags past a washer and dryer in a tiny entrance to the main room. Here, dwarfed by a 6-foot Christmas tree, another tree, an older man sat, legs up, in a recliner, the only furniture I remember seeing. Carlos, I assumed her husband, but no, Carlos was at work, she said, and the kids were at school. Poulette introduced the man as Pablo, the owner of this cozy house and Poulette's landlord. He lives there too. Rosanna told me when we left that these people are from Peru, probably Franco-Peruanos, as I Googled to surmise later, hence Poulette's unusual French-style name, perhaps. She and Carlos had lost a previous home, and someone had turned them on to Pablo, a fellow Peruvian, who rents out rooms in Prescott Valley in that house. I had to hide my shock upon learning that Poulette, Carlos, and their 4 children now shared one bedroom in this house. They had asked only for Walmart gift cards, which they could use mightily, of course, but our Granite Peak sponsor had dressed up their holiday bags with more, and the Christmas spirit prevailed in that place. Landlord Pablo was cordial. He didn't get up, maybe he couldn't, I don't know, and clearly pleased that we had come bearing gifts. And quiet Poulette, aglow with gratitude, said thank you in I forget what language, over and over before we bid a warm farewell.
Thank you, Lena. Thank you. The offering tonight will go to the Ministers' Benevolence Fund. That's the fund that I use when people come to me with the many needs they come to me with, within our congregation and without. This fund has helped people stay in their homes and avoid eviction, get a car up and running, provide food for many, and many, many other things. I believe this fund has facilitated the work of angels. Please be generous. Thank you for your generosity. Can I have a monitor to remember those bags? Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I could just imagine waking up in the middle of the night and going, oh. A couple of weeks ago, someone came to my office and told me this story. Their cat, 21-year-old cat, wow, was showing signs of not having a good life and needing to go through euthanization. She wrote this: I went to the local veterinarian asking what it would cost for the euthanization and to receive my cat's ashes. $400 was the answer in a crowded office with long lines of people and their pets. $400 was a lot of money for me, and it really intensified my feelings of loss about my cat. I told the receptionist, wait a minute, I need to go think about it. And so I went back through that long line and sat down in the waiting room. Finally, as I sat there figuring out a way to pay for it and feeling very heavy, I thought, well, I'll just go up and tell her. It was so hard thinking what was coming. When I told her I wanted to go ahead with it, she said, you don't need to pay. Someone has paid for you. Sorry. Ugh, so much is happening in the world right now. And these acts of kindness move our hearts because we need these acts of kindness right now. Let us rise in body or spirit as we pledge to do these acts of kindness. Let us sing, It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. Carol, it's number 244, one verse. Tonight, we have heard stories of angels, and I imagine some of you have remembered your own stories. One of the reasons why I love this tradition is often when we hear a horrible story or we see something awful, we think it's the tip of the iceberg and everything seems awful around us. I want these stories of kindness to feel like the tip of the iceberg, a sign of pervading kindness in the world. It is my hope that these stories have kindled a flame in your hearts, a flame that says, maybe you might be that person in the veterinarian's office who pays the bill. Or maybe you will be that car that goes off the side of the road to help someone. You each have a candle. Does anybody need a candle? Oh, We can't sing out of the hymn book and hold our candles at the same time. So we're being flexible. I would like to, I'm going to take Judy's candle and light it from the chalice. And then I would like to invite you to keep lighting each other's candle. Bea, why don't you light yours as well? And let me show you how to do this, although this carpet doesn't matter. Someday we will have a carpet that does matter. So we need to practice good candle lighting. If your candle is lit, hold it upright. Then the other candle will go to your candle sideways like this. This has a dicey wick.
Don't get it on the carpet.
All right. Can we do this? I think we can. And then we will sing Silent Night together. On this night, we celebrate the light that is in our hearts, the light that moves us to kindness. We have kindled that flame in one another. Let us be the one who begins to sing Silent Night across a battlefield. Let us do the work of Christmas that comes upon us unexpectedly and urgently. This is the work of Christmas. I'll read it. By Howard Thurman. When the song of the angels is stilled, when the star in the sky is gone, when the kings and princes are home, when the shepherds are back from their flock, the work of Christmas begins to find the lost, to heal the broken, to feed the hungry, to release the prisoner, to rebuild the nations, to bring peace among others, to make music in the heart. Amen. and may it be so. I hate to blow this out. Let us send all of our energy out into this world in hopes for peace. For peace has come again, just as the angels have come to us over and over again. Peace has come to this earth. Let us pray for peace. You are a beautiful sight. So we now will extinguish our flames. And I invite you to take this imaginary flame with you out into the world. Go in peace. And we extinguish our chalice. But not the light of truth, nor the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And now we can go in peace again.